Yeah, hi Hojipa, Moz, Najis. So in the last session, we have completed zone implementation and IPv4 static and default routing in CLI mode and GUI mode. Now today we will cover our IP implementation in first we'll configure with the graphical mode, then second we'll use the command line mode. Okay. So for that we have a topology. This is our topology, and consider this is our ISP which is connected to our HO firewall. From HO, in the same city, we have two more branches, same city, remember, branch 1 and the branch 2. In the branch 1, we are having this lane network, okay? In the branch 2, we are having this lane network. And the branch 3, we are having our HO lane, we are having this network, okay? This network are connected. And here also in real time, you no need to do because this is an ISP property, you can't do anything on this. But for the practical purpose, we have to configure on this as well. And loopback 0 we are creating as the internet. Just assume this 1.1.1.1 is
Sir, can you share your screen?
sorry. Yeah, so I'm just repeating once again. We are done in the last session the IPv4 implementation and the zone implementation. Today we will cover our IP implementation and graphical user interface. Okay. And in this one, we have a one ISP, internet service provider, which is we have some network on this, and this is our one destination that 1.1.1, which is we mapped with the facebook.com. Okay, and we'll configure with the RIP. So we have a one HO, and other branches are in the same city. So this consider this inside and the outside is a branch 1 and the branch 2. Both branches are connected with the P2P like fiber connectivity, and there is no internet on these branches. Okay, whoever wanted to reach the internet, like suppose there is a user in the branch 2 user having IP with the 172.30.1.1 series. The user wanted to reach the public network like facebook.com or google.com. The request will come to the firewall, and firewall to is router, and the router to the firewall, and the firewall to our ISP. The reply will be on the same way. It will come from to the firewall and firewall to the router. Okay, then it will come to the user. Means there is no ISP in the branches. Okay, no internet in the branches, you can consider. Got it my point? This is our management, and this is our just consider this a B1 B2 and HO lane. Okay, so let's start the configuration. So this is our B1 is already I took. Okay, so B2, this is our ISP. So ISP is also router only. I just changed the symbol. So ISP, and after this ISP, we have to do we'll have to do branch 2 as well. Okay, branch 2 as well. So branch 2 is just make it B2. Okay, and B2 and HO lane. Okay, so HO lane here in B2, here ISP, here B1. Okay, so first of all, you need to assign an IP into the interfaces. Okay, I'm assigning IP into this interface first. Then I have already enable configuration terminal in no IP domain lookup. And what is the IP interface for Ethernet 0x0? IP address is 192.168.1.1, 255.255.255.0, and no set down. What is this? 192. Okay, IP address and no shutdown. Okay. After this, we'll need to assign some loopback. So loopback interface loopback. Loopback 1 is IP address is a 172.10.1.1 with the subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Just a minute now. Interface loopback 1 IP address 172.10.1.1 and 255.255.255.0. Okay, in loopback 2, that is IP is a 20.2. Okay, third one is a 30.2. Loopback 3. Loopback 3 is a 30.3.1. So 30.3.1. 30.3.1. Okay, 30.3.1. So that's it. And loop back 4. Loop back 4 IP is a 40.4.1, right? 40.4.1. And loop back 5. In loop back 5, we have one or more IP like 50. 50.5.1. Okay. So here the configuration is done. So IP interface brief. So the IP is a 192.168.1.1, which is connected to the first Ethernet 0 by 0. We have some testing purpose loopback interface, means virtual interface 172.10.1, 20.1, 30.1, and 40.4.1, 50.5.1. Okay. In the same way, we are having in here also in ISP. For that, I am already having a command line to save the timing. Okay. So we can go through this. So R1 we completed. R2 we need to configure. So here also the same thing. Enable configuration terminal from here to here, and we just need to go here, and I'll just need to put it into ISP. In ISP here, just copy and paste. I will share this document later with you after the class, so it will save your time for the configuration. Then again we have a three, right? So here enable the same. Okay, same one we are having. So third out one. Okay, and we are having a 4. Okay, in this 4 IP address HO and paste it here. Okay, the configuration is done. Now if you check in the B1, so IP root, so you'll get all the connected network 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50, and 1. Here also, do so IP root. Here also you'll get 10, 20, 30, 20, 30, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 16. There is no 10, so 1 and the 2. So everywhere we configure this basic configuration has been done into all these routers. Now we'll go to the firewall. Okay, so what is the IP of the firewall? To check that, we need to turn on this firewall and we need to change the name. That is the FortiGate HO. Enter. So admin and the admin. So system interface question mark 75.143 192.75.143. Okay, now we hit it here, and after that admin and the admin. Okay, don't save, later. Okay, so first whenever you are doing the lab, you first do go to your interface, and the first interface, which interface? This port number 1, which is connected to our internet. Like internet means management. This is our internet for the practical. Okay, so you just need to do as a manual. Instead of keeping a DSCP, you need to select as a manual. Okay, and then we need to assign IP onto other firewalls. Okay, so better you know how to assign IP into this graphical user interface. I'm just showing you how to configure into CLI. So this is the way how you're going to do config system interface. Edit port number, which one? Port number 2, set mode static, and the set IP. What is the IP? 192.168.1.2/24, and the set, nothing set. Next, sorry, set allow access a ping only I'm allowing, and the next interface is a edit port number 2, port number 3, set mode static, and the set IP 192.168.2.2/24, and this, what is this? 192.168. Okay, and the set allow access ping. Okay, the next interface is a port number our edit port number 4. The set mode static, set mode static. After that, we are in port number 4, right? Set IP 192.168.3.2 3.2/24. The set allow access ping, and then next which one? 2.1 set mode static set, that's fine. The next, edit port number 5, set mode static, and the set IP 192.168.4.1, okay, /24, 4.1/24, set allow access ping, and just save it. Okay, so now if you check it, everything has been configured here. It is not showing now. Once refresh it, you'll find everything here. Okay, so all the IP is configured here. Okay, in the 192.168.1.2, 2.2, 3.2 with 4.2, and services is also ping is enabled, right? All is done now. Okay, now what? Now we required to configure what we need to do. We need to do RIP, not static routing. Okay, so in here we have how many interface, how many network we are having? 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0, and 4.0. We need to advertise our directly connected network. Indirectly connected network will automatically come. Automatically, it will advertise by, their um, algorithm. Okay, like RIP algorithm. With the help of RIP algorithm, everything will be this router will share with the next hop whatever the details they are having, and you know about the RIP, right? How it works actually. So we need to go the RIP, selecting the IP version 4. So what is the IP 192.168.1.0? 1.0/24. Copy this. We have a second network 2.0, 2.0. Copy this 3.0 and the 4.0. Okay, 4.0. Now save it. Okay, wait for some time, and then we can get it. How to check in the routing table? Get router info routing table or routing table RIP. If you check RIP, no router RIP. So here routing table all. So you'll find 192.168.1.2.3.4. Okay, 75 is the port 1. So it will come automatically. Wait for some time. If it is not, then we need to do what we have to do. Here we need to go in the RIP and the routers. The so IP route. Okay, so here also there is a no RR, right? Means routing table is not exchanging within their directly connected network. So IP route RIP. So RIP is there, but it is not showing here, right? RIP you already configure. We configured or not? We are not configured, correct? Okay, I think we forgot to configure RIP here. This for that we have a command RIP router 1. Okay, so for that here we have how many network we are having in R1. R1 we are having one network, this 192.168 1.0 and 10.1.0, 10.1.0.
Yeah, one minute.
And then again we are having Control C, paste it here. Which one? 20.2, right? 20.2, 20.2.0. Then third one is 30.3 30.3.1, 30.3.0 network. Then fourth is a 40.4, 40.4, right? And fifth is a 50 dot
50.5.
50.5, right? In the same way, in R2 we are having 20.1.0, 20.1.0, and we have a second network that is our 30.2, 30.2, and we are having one more network that is 40.4, 40.3, right? 40.3.0. Enter, and this 40.4.0, 40.4, not 40.3, 30, 40.3, and 50.4, 50.4.0, and then 60.5.0. Okay, so now at least we can configure first both of them. You know what is the command router RIP version 2, no auto summary, and whatever the network you are having directly connected, that network only you need to advertise over your router. Rest will do by that algorithm. Okay, so RIP I'm doing. Okay, here, not here, configuration terminal. Under this configuration terminal, we'll just paste it. Okay, now, okay, now done. Here in R1, here in R2 also we'll do the same thing. Remember, we are not using now 1.1. Okay. So configuration terminal, and then paste it here. All is done. In the same way, we need to use the third one also. For the third one, we need to go and here we need to bring this. Okay. And after this, we have a third one, 30.1.0, 1.0, and just paste it here. Sorry. 30.1.0, and what we have 172.40.2.0, right? 40.2.0. Here we need a net. Okay, so 40 dot, then copy and paste it here. 40, then 50.3, right? So 50.3, and then we are having another one is 60, right? 60.3, 60.4, 60.4.0, and then we are having one more network, 70.5, 70.5, and the second one we have one more R4. In R4 we have 192.168.4.0, which is connected, and 40.1.0, 40.1.0, and then we have 172.50.2.0, 60.3.0, and 70.4.0, and 80.5, right?
Yes.
80.5.0. So this network also we need to run in this both the firewall in our R3 first. So R3 B2 is our R3. Enable configuration terminal, and then you need to paste it here. Yeah, now we pasted here. In the R4 also we need to do. For R4 we have this network. Okay, you just need to copy and paste it here. In R4, enable configuration terminal, enable configuration terminal, and under this configuration terminal we need to do the paste, and everything is done now. If you check show IP route, it will take some time now to come. Okay, at least we can check into this. So IP route. So under RIP, how many network is learned by this device? R1 is learned. Look, R is a symbol for the RIP, right? So in the 172.70 70 we received, okay, and the 40 we received, and we received 40.2 and 40.3, along with 50, along with 50.3, along with this 60 and 70, 80, many, all this has been received, right? 192, 2, 3, everything, 2, 3 also, 4 also received, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 also we received, which is directly connected to our routers. Now whatever we are having under this we received. Okay, so in the same way here in also RIP, so IP route, so IP route RIP. So if you hit this, you'll get it all this RIP detail, whatever the RIP you received, the learned from the routing information protocol. So IP route, RIP. Here also everywhere we that so IP route. So every device has been advertised their routing table with each other. Okay. Now here, if you check in that firewall, admin and the admin, so IP, not so, get router info routing table RIP you can do. So everything 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50, 60, 70, 80, everything we learn from this each other, right? Via 192, 162, 1, 2, 3, and 4 is not there, right? 192, 168, 1 dot, from 1.1 we learn, from 2 dot we learn, from 3 dot we learn, but there is nothing like 4.1. There is nothing port number 5, right? We need to check once the HO lane. So IP route RIP. So here we missed to configure RIP. Okay. So here also we need to do in R4 router RIP. Here, so configuration terminal, and then paste it here. Okay, done now. Show IP route RIP. Still it is not showing. Is ping and everything is allowed or not? So IP interface brief. Check the interface first. 192.168.4.1. Okay, 40.1, 50.1, 60, 70, 80. Everything is there. Here also, if it is confusion, let me verify. So IP route. So IP route. What is that? Just a minute. So IP interface brief. So we configured 1.2.3.4. Okay, so in the B2, instead of keeping, if you check 30, 40, 50, है ना? 30, 40, 50 has been configured here. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Here 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 should be configured. That is a 4, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, right? It should come. Anything we are missing in R5? Check the interface. Admin, don't save later. Okay. Under this RIP, 4.0, 192.168.4.0 is also advertised. 3.2.1. Check the interface. In interface, we have a port number 5, which is the 192.168.4.1, 255.255.255.0, and RIP has been advertised, but it should come. Let me verify if you miss anything. 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Actually, and it is already there, right? So IP route RIP. So IP route, it is not learning now. Okay. Configuration terminal router RIP version 2, no auto summary. The network 192.168.4.0. Okay, 192.168.4.0. Another network we have 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So we just need to advertise this all 40, 50, 60, 70, and 80. Yeah, paste it here. That is also done in show IP route RIP. So IP route. It should come here. What we can do here, instead of keeping all this network, check whether it is in B2. So IP route RIP. So IP route. So IP route. So what is the directly connected? So directly connected is 30.1 and the 40.1, 40.2, 50.2, 60.4, 60.4, right? Already is there 192.170, 80. If you see here and comparison with this 4.0, 50, okay, directly connected network 30.1. What is there? 40.2. Here it is showing 40.1, 40.2.0, 50, 60. It is so IP route. Is it all is connected here 70, 80, 40, right? Whether it is able to ping or not, ping 192.168.4.1. It is reachable. 4.2, it is reachable. It is not reachable, right? So 4.2, this 4.2, the router is not able to reach 4.2, right? Need to verify what is that issue with this. So IP, configuration, configuration terminal interface first net 0 by 0, IP address 192.168.4.1, 4.1, 255.255.255.0. Okay, no shutdown. His interface was down already. So IP interface brief. Okay, 192.168.4.1. Here it is connected, right? and now you can ping 192.168.4.2. Still the 4.2 is not able to reach. Let me verify the 4.2. Here we have a 4.1. That's the reason it is not reaching, right? We need to change it to the 4.2. Now it will come.
Again, sir,
Now
what was the issue?
the issue was there. Here, instead of keeping 4.2, I was assigned IP as a 4.1 here in the interface.
Okay.
Okay. So now it will reach, and if you check so IP route RIP, you'll get the RIP routing detail also here, right? In that HOLN.
Yes.
Got it. So now it is done. So is it possible to ping? Let's suppose in this ISP we have a one IP address like configuration terminal interface loopback 0. I'm creating loopback 0 IP address with the IP address uh, IP address 1.1.1.1. Okay, 255.255.255.0 I'm keeping, and int so IP interface brief. If you hit, you'll get the 1.1, right? But 1.1 is not in this, so IP route RIP, right? So 1.1 is not there, correct? If you hit here also in the FortiGate admin, so IP route RIP, so not so get router info routing table all, routing table all. Okay, so you can't find anything like 1.1, right? Let
Yes.
me ping, execute ping 1.1.1.1. Do we have anything? Nothing has
No.
been configured. We did not configure anything like static routes towards where internet, right? So we need to create here what we need to create 192 static default routing. Okay,
Yes. 111.
192.168.1.2. Okay, here 192.168.2.1,
So, yes.
2.1, 2.1. Yeah, 2.1. Yeah, port number 3. So now hit. If you hit also, it will not go, right? Why? Anyone? It is reaching. Sorry. Policy is already there. Firewall policy.
Mm.
Yeah, firewall policy is not there. But firewall is why reaching? Because it is going from in to out, right? That 1.1. Okay. But if you hit from R1, it will not hit. Because there is no policy, right? Ping 1.1.1.1. It will not go. It will not go, right? So for that,
From,
we
from in to out by default, it will
yeah,
allow.
from in to out by default it is allowed. But from out to in it will not. If you hit also, if you hit from ISP side or that another side also, it will not go. Who is
Mm.
coming, man? Okay, so now Wazifa, you connected with multiple device?
No, there's only one device.
Okay, no problem. Mute yourself. Okay, so if you hit from R2 to R1 4.2, it will not hit. Okay, from R2 ISP. Okay, so if you ping 192.168.4.1, it will not reach. Even 4.2 also it will not reach. Okay, 4.2 also it will not reach. Correct. From outside to inside, nothing can be allowed. But from firewall to outside, it will allow because we have a one we don't require any kind of policy when we are going to reach our static routes. Okay, because
Yes.
we are having a static routing towards our internet, so that is not required. Now, if you wanted to create a policy, you need to go to the system first. Under this system feature visibility, under feature visibility, we need to enable multi-interface policy. You
Yes.
just enable this. Now go to that where policy,
Yes.
under this policy, firewall policy, create new policy. Under this policy, you just need to allow all to all. Okay. Here R1 port, not port 1, it's port 2 to port 5, right? Port 2, still it is not. Just a minute, refresh this once. It was enabled or not, the system. Feature visibility and that multi-interface policy. Uh, multi-interface policy was not enabled. Here, allow apply, then only we can get. Security profile under this node, under this policy object, firewall policy, create new. Under this, you need to create all to all. all to all, and we need to select our interfaces. Port number 2, 3, 4, 5. We're just calling into this, and 2, 3, 4, 5 all to all can communicate, right? Source can be anything, destination can be anywhere, okay? And that schedule kabhi bhi anytime, okay? And the services is always, except net is enabled to for that private IP to reach the internet, okay? Now the policy is created. So in this case, at least they can reach each other, right? They can advertise each other. If you check get router info, routing table all, okay? You'll find 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, everything you'll find. Get router info, RIP. Also you'll get it. RIP. What is the next command? RIP database. If you check the database, you'll find 10 is there, 20 is there, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 till 80 you'll find it, right? Along with the directly connected network also you'll be here, you'll get it here, okay? Which is connected to port number 2, 3, 4, 5, correct? So in this we are getting everything, and now firewall can reach to anywhere because it is available under the routing table. Execute ping 192.168.1.1. It will reach. What is the next IP? 172.10.1.1. 172.10.1. 172.10.1.1. 10.1.1. 10.1.1 or yeah, 172.10.1.1. Oh, sorry, IP is wrong. 172.10.1.1. It will reach to 2.2.2.2. 2.2 is there or not? 2.1. So it will also reach to 2.1. 2.1 reachability 172.10.2.1 to 20.2.1. 20.2.1. Sit. 20.2.1.2.1. 20.172.20.2.1. 170.2.20.2.1. It is not reaching. We'll check. Okay. And what about this 30.3.1? 30.3.1. 30.3.1. It is not reaching. Okay. But first of all, check the routing table first. Get router info routing table RIP. And what is this interface? Which one? Port number 2. Interface. Anything else? Interface name. Port 2. If you hit here, port 2 is line protocol is up, routing protocol RIP, receive RIP packet, send RIP packet, passive interface disable, split horizon 1.2 is there connected. Okay. So if you hit port 3, port number 3, you'll get 2.2. If you hit port 4, you'll get 3.2. If you hit port number 5, you'll get 4.2. So all is connected fine. So IP route get router info routing table all, okay? So here 20 here available, right? So 10.1 is available, 20.1 is available, 30 series available, and 30.2 series available, 40.2. If you hit the 30.2, 40.2, 60.80, everything is available, but we are unable to reach. Why? We require to enable to distribute this entire database. We need to distribute, okay, to give the what default routing. We configure default routing in where? In static routing, right? For that, in the same way, we require to configure one default routing under the RIP. So how to do? So you need to go to the network, go to the RIP. Under this RIP, you'll find the advanced option. Under this advanced option, you need to enable static under the RIP. Okay, this is a timer by default. We'll discuss in upcoming session, so no need to worry about that. So now we just need to apply it here. Got it? Now if you check, so IP route RIP. So
If you're using OSPF, will enable OSPF. BGP will enable. Okay.
BGP, yes. Look, still we are not receive any kind of default routing, default RIP routing, R star. Are you able to see? So IP route RIP. No, Still that is not shared. Yeah, now we find it. Look, R star, right? So the default routing we received now. So now if firewall wanted to reach where it want admin, now the firewall can reach anywhere. Okay. Execute ping 172.10.172.10.1.1. Okay. Sit. Yeah, reaching now, and that 20.2, 20.2, 172, 20.2. IP is there or not? Check. So IP interface brief 20.1.2, 20.2.2.1 is not there, right? I was assigned wrong IP here. The loopback 2. So under this configuration, config routing configuration, config terminal router RIP version router RIP version 2, and the network is sit interface first, then which, so just so IP interface brief under this 1.2 I assigned, right? Not 1 or 2.3.1. At least we can ping, right? We have a 3.1, so now we can ping 3.1. 30.3.1, 30.3.1. So 30.3.1 is reachable because I given a wrong IP here, 20.1.2. I'm just making correct it. 1.2 instead of keeping a 1.2, we need to create 20.2.1. So port number 2, config interface, configuration terminal interface loopback 2 IP address 172.20.2.1 255.255.255.0. Okay, now we'll get so IP interface brief. Now it is 20.2.1, right? So if you hit 20.2.1, you'll find it. Firewall can reach now 20.2.1. Okay, just a minute. Yeah, 20.2.1. So now 20.2.1 reachability is there. Everywhere router can reach, right? Firewall can reach to everywhere. So is it possible to reach internet for this one? That R1. So R1 can also reach now, okay? Because default routing. Because if you check, so IP route RIP, we created what we enabled? We enabled the RIP under this default routing and under static default routing under this dynamic RIP routing, correct? So now HO can also reach to 1.1, enable. So IP route RIP, here RIP, routing table is also there. Yeah, we found it, right? If you ping 1.1.1.1, a repeat count, you can, if you hit 1000, so now that this lane user can able to reach the 1.1.1, right? Means internet. Got it? If you check here in the firewall, so get router info routing table all, get router info routing table all. So the same thing, you can't find 1.1 in anywhere, right? Nothing is showing any 1.1. And we know that if you don't know the destination, so you need to you just need to enable default routing towards your internet when you don't know the destination. So blindly it will send to the destination and destination will reply to us. Okay, so this is the way how the packet is flowing from by using a RIP from R1 to R2 R3 in our local area network. Okay, got it?
Yes.
So I'm just going to stop this, and then in the next class, after 5 minutes, we'll do the same configuration by using a CLI mode. Okay. Okay. One more thing before going to that, if you check, if you wanted to check this, you need to check under this in dashboard, right? So you need to add in wizard and the routing information and the add monitor. Under this add monitor, you'll find this routing. Here you'll find this routing monitor and every details whatever the internet you are connecting or all are learned from RIP. Type of protocol RIP. What is the distance of RIP? 120. By using which port number 2435, right? And what is the gateway? Based on that gateway also it is showing, and the network ID everything is showing, right? Like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and 80. All the network is advertised here, right? The connected and indirectly connected network is also advertised here, correct? Clear?
Yes, sir.
So I'm just going to stop the recording, and after that we will do the same thing by. Hojiba, please mute. Then the same configuration we'll do in a 5 minute in CLI mode. Okay, just a minute.